From After Dark World Headquarters, this is KD After Dark with your favorite correspondent, KD. Why? Because it's my channel. That's why. Anyway, welcome to January 2nd, a Sunday, January 2nd. It's warm outside, but it's not going to be warm for very long. For Mr. and Ms. America, all ships at sea and all sods everywhere. It's time to get down with some reading. Let me continue with Richard Marcinko, Rogue Warrior, a classic. This is his speech to the newly formed SEAL Team 6. Listen closely, gentlemen, because you will hear these words again and again. Safety's out the window. We will train the same way we fight, balls to the walls. That means some of you will get hurt during training. Some of you may die. That's a fact of life. But we will watch each other's back. We will take care of each other. If you screw up and waste your swim, buddy, I will waste you. Believe me, it's easy to rig a fatal accident, and I will waste you. You will be history. You gotta love him. I highly recommend it. Let's go to my Hall of Fame today. Okay, so No Time for Sergeants. Andy Griffith made a name for himself in Hollywood as playing hillbilly types, and No Time for Sergeants is just about as good as it gets. I forgot this guy's name who played his sergeant, but it's well worth checking out. Mad Men. There's that got it going on Joan. Oh, we love Joan. There's Roger, a great guy. First wife, I think her name's Peggy. I cannot remember her name. There's the man himself, Don Draper. His ever faithful and loyal secretary, and I forgot her name. I really need to get that entire box set and rewatch it. I haven't rewatched the series since it finished. Continuing. You ever seen A Touch of Evil with Orson Welles? It's fantastic. That's Orson Welles. And even by Orson Welles standards, he looks rough as hell. A young Charlton Heston, but I can recommend Touch of Evil. It's great. So here we are. Let's continue a little bit longer with Not a Dull Moment. I wish I had more of these albums under my wings, but I really do not know them all, and I'm not going to lie to you about it. So we finished with Nantucket Sleigh Ride yesterday, a great one. I'm going to go on the ones that I do know. Paul McCartney's Ram. I like Paul McCartney's Ram very much, especially that song, Too Many People. Maybe my favorite solo Paul McCartney song. Pink Floyd Metal. I like it. Rod Stewart, Every Picture Tells a Story. Can't sing the praises of this one enough. What can you say about an album that's got him covering That's All Right Mama, and it's really a good version. It's not Elvis Presley, and it's not Big Boy Crudup, but it's good. And we haven't even got to Maggie May. Just a great song. Rolling Stones' Sticky Fingers. How good is Sticky Fingers? Right up there at the top with me. I put Sticky Fingers up there in the top 5 with maybe Nevermind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. In no particular order. Sticky Fingers, the Ramones, either Leave Home or Rocket to Russia. Either one of them are great. And I could go on, but I won't. Santana 3. That's got the song Everybody's Everything on it. I saw that was the last album with the original Santana band. I had the pleasure of seeing them at Charlotte Coliseum. It's 1974. And they were great. Sly and the Family Stone, there's a riot going on. I've heard it, but I remember the song Family Affair more than anything. T-Rex Electric Warrior. Fantastic. Van Morrison's Tupelo Honey. Yes, great. The Who. Who's Next? Remember I told you about that top 5? It'd be like Never Mind the Bollocks, Sticky Fingers. Who's Next would be up there too. Yes, the Yes album and Fragile. I don't know about Yes. Fragile was definitely their best album, but I don't know whether I consider it one of the best albums I've ever heard. I couldn't say that. So, I found a list that Scott made me of albums he considered noteworthy. I'm going to read tomorrow. So, let me tell you a Hustler joke or two. Chosen by Larry Flint personally. The old biker had taken to being courteous in his later years, especially to women. One day, while airing his views, he remarked he never saw an ugly female. A woman standing next to him with a very flat nose, waffled cheeks, and no lips overheard this and said, "I beg your pardon, sir, but how could you look at me and honestly say that I'm not ugly?" The noble tramp gazed at her and replied, "My dear lady, like the rest of your sex, you are an angel fallen from the skies. It's not your fault that you happen to fall on your fucking face." Coffee spit out, anybody? One more. After 20 years of obedience to his vow of silence, a Trappist monk was called into the abbot's study and told he could utter 2 words. "Bad food," he said softly. His superior nodded and dismissed him. 20 years later, the monk was called again by the abbot. "No heat," the monk said, head bowed. By the time he was called again, a new, younger abbot had been appointed. The monk, an old man by now, entered the study waving his cane. "I quit," he declared. "So be it," the abbot said. "I hear you bitch too much anyway." Starting the new year, I'll read several selections from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. If you don't know about this book, you should investigate. I'm going to read a quote in here that parallels what I've been saying for the last little while. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you say and think. You could leave life right now. Determine what you say and think. Determine what you say and think. And just as I say that, I hear a siren in the background. My goodness. Take a sip of coffee. You going to say it with me? I hope so. Always be nice until it's time not to be nice. Always be kind to animals. Discipline equals freedom. Never complain. Never explain. Leapfrogging off what Marcus Aurelius said, you don't have unlimited time. Don't you know that? So, for Mr. and Ms. America, all ships at sea and all sides everywhere, this is your favorite correspondent, KD, wishing you a great morning. I'm going to wander the earth, and I'll see you out there.